remember, anytime you speak during this council meeting tonight, if you could just remember to put your buttons on so we can hear you. I'd like to call to order this Batavia Village Council agenda. This is the agenda for the regular council meeting, Monday, June 8th, 2026. Could I have everybody face towards this way? Please stand with me, or us. And Mr. Wilson, can you lead us in the Pledge of Allegiance? Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. We can't say indivisible tonight. Okay. Thank you very much for that. And thank you for all the veterans out there. And thank you for serving our country. Roll call, please.
Mr. Wilson. Yes. Mr. Staton. Yes. Mr. Smith. Yes. Mrs. Agar.
Yes.
And Mr. Owens.
Yes. First part of the agenda tonight is public comments. We'll just read this. Public comments. Public participation during this meeting are welcomed and conducted in accordance with the Ohio law, including Ohio Revised Code 2917.12. All attendees are expected to engage respectively and avoid any conduct that disrupts or interferes with the orderly conduct of this meeting. Individuals wishing to speak should follow the established procedures and recognize before addressing the body. Failure to comply is a result of removal and ensure the meeting process is in an orderly manner. Persons wishing to make comments will have at least 3 minutes each. There will be a limit of 30 minutes total per comment for public comments. The first one, Mr. Gallagher.
Check, check. Okay, we're good. The property located at 2050 Sporty's Drive, so it's basically at the corner of Taylor Road and Sporty's Drive. 2.19 acres. If you're coming down off, you turn off Taylor Road onto Sporty's Drive, the first block building there on the right is always the old Matt's. It was a chicken processing plate, Matt Moat Sr., and then they ran ice out of there, and then Bad Tom Smith had it for a while. Property's for sale right now, so I was talking to the property owner, and he goes, the village was actively and aggressively trying to get me to annex? I go, really? He goes, yeah. And I go, well, you kind of know that Ken Geis resigned at the end of December. Oh, he goes, oh no, that other guy keeps calling me. He's called me a couple months ago. I goes, his name Chip Stewart? He goes, yeah, it's Chip Stewart. So do we got a response of why you want the 2 acres directly adjacent to the airport with an empty building on it?
I was not calling him about any annexations.
Okay.
He never returned any of my calls.
Well, he said he talked to you. It's your chance to tell your side of the story. There's always 2 sides of a story.
I haven't talked to him probably in over a year.
He said it was this year, a few months ago. So
no, last year was the last time I talked to him.
All right. Has anybody else directed Mr. Stewart to annex that property?
And I will make one comment, and this is my comment personally, to you in the airport. I am not interested in taking over the airport or the runways or thus taking any type of payments or having any type of taxes for runway access. So I just want to tell you, I know that was one of those things that was mentioned in an email, and that someone actually came to me and said this is true. But I just want to go to the public just to let you know, I'm not interested, and I would not think anybody else would be interested in taking over the airport.
All right. Well, for the record, I never insinuated that, and I didn't send you the email. But if you want to. Someone else
someone brought it to me, and I just wanted to make sure if it's out there, just to let you know.
So I don't know of anyone that's actively, even suggested that to Chip, right? So I don't know where that came from.
It's fine, and I respect Chip's response. Like I said, it's this guy and this guy. I'm just the guy in the middle, and I'm putting it out there so you guys are aware of it. That's all. Then I had one last question. On February 12th, 2024, Mayor Runk, you signed the amendment and forbearance for a $200,000 loan to Bean and Brew. I can't find any records that there was a CIC meeting and the CIC board gave you approval to do this. And I'm just asking, did you have approval or did you do this on your own? And do you need approval? I don't know. In the private sector, if I did a $200,000 judgment, I'd probably be fired if my partners didn't know about it. So
To sign a forbearance, the CIC did not need to hold a meeting, and so it was executed.
we didn't talk about in the meeting that we're amending the payments for a year? That's what we're saying.
I will say this, the construction of the new part was not completed yet. Until that construction part was not completed, that was not done, that was signed because he was going to provide a viable business, which is actually one of the anchor businesses here in the village of Batavia. And it was actually brought to me saying that he will be a business that will be brought to the village that will prosper. And that's how come that forbearance, again, that was signed because we did not need to have the CIC meeting. That was because I could be able to sign that.
Okay, I'm not saying that it was...
And I did sign it.
Yeah, I got a copy. I'm not saying it's wrong, right, or indifferent. I would just think that you would need CIC board approval to make a decision like that. Just the communication and the transparency of it all. So
Because that also was already going on. It was also in motion, and that's, so just let you know. The whole process of redoing the building.
All right. That's all I got.
Mr. Gallagher, I believe you and I have spoken before, and you've told me, and correct me if I'm wrong, that the Claremont County Airport does not collect landing fees. Is that correct?
No, we do not. So in small county-owned airports like this across the country, there's no landing fees. There could be parking fees, and those parking fees are usually waived with a fuel purchase. But I don't charge parking fees, landing fees. It's open to the public, and people are welcome to land and take off at their leisure.
And I don't know what's put out there in the public, but I can tell you, with this board, there has been no discussions about, that I'm aware of, about taking over the airport and creating a revenue stream with landing fees. I also believe that there is actually no indication from this board that they have any desire to get into the airport business and annex the airport in any way.
I just hope you value my concern when I hear that from a property owner, and that's all I'm doing here. So, and I appreciate your response.
And I understand that too, but there's a lot of misinformation out there that is designed specifically to create disinformation. It has no other bearing than that.
Right. All right, thank you.
Greetings, my fellow Batavians. I come to you in peace. With that being said, I am not leading the charge to dissolve the village, clearly, right? But I do see ridiculous information like your taxes will go up 40%. That is not true. It's a mill, right? That's $35 per $100,000 of property. Most people would be offset by the savings in their income tax right there. So I will go ahead and correct people when they share misinformation like that online. So in addition to that, speaking back to, we talk like fire levy stuff here for a quick minute. Obviously the township had a failed effort, and it did fail by more than 16 votes last November when you go ahead and remove the village. The village is surprisingly pretty pro-levy. And with that being said, none of your fault really, minus the middle right there. But, we've really created a situation where it's extremely difficult to pass any levies in Claremont County, and many people will go ahead and focus back to the village. In the township levy, the number one complaint was you guys shouldn't have given away so many abatements, and you wouldn't be asking for money right now. And, when you don't get $8,000 from the firefighter union like CJ Fed did when they ran their levy last November, it's really difficult to go ahead and have a budget to send mailers out and get that direct communication to share facts like this is a township levy, not a village levy. But anyways, it's important to note that as bad as the fire levy did, you know what failed by 500 more votes than the fire levy? The developmental disabilities levy in the township. This is township precincts only. They lost by 500 more votes. That's $25 per $100,000. The fire department was asking for $330. So, I am still sympathetic to you guys right there, but, the previous council did a really disservice, not only to the fire department, to every single entity that is dependent on property taxes within this county. Hey, moving on, I do see executive sessions here, and I have some issues with the township, no offense, Rex and Karen, but I will say they don't go to executive sessions for 2 hours. And the previous council, everything they did was basically, hey, it's legal, so we're good, right, Scott, right? Adam Byrd signed the law, so it's okay that you go ahead and take all that money from the schools. That was one of your points you made, it's legal. So I will say, the last council really, really took a hit. It was just because it's legal doesn't make it right. So I would encourage you guys to go ahead and, you're streaming on YouTube right there. You got Bill right here. I think it's important your constituents see what's going on right there. Chip, I do have my public records request, and you've always been really good about that right there. That's just wondering if you guys are spending any money on PR stuff. And I will say, this is your one free piece of advice from Joe Fisher here. I've already gave you guys a compliment earlier this year, but, I think it's important you guys show, what value you add to the community. And, with that being said, back in 2021, when Harvest Meadows came, or 2020, there was talks of sharing some of that income tax revenue. With the fire department, you had an understanding per the minutes right there. That was a really, really half-baked, idiotic statement, whoever made that right there and voted for that, because, we're talking 1% of a household that makes, $100,000 a year that buys a $250,000 house, that's like $1,000, right? $300,000 house, we're talking about, $3,200 to make the schools and fire department whole. But anyways, what I will say, I was glad to hear the thing about the schools, the resource officers, but, realistically, that's cool, but your guys that's really just kind of giving the money back that you tax all those teachers on right there. I think if you guys really want to build a community that's kind of dissolve proof, we know we got that operating budget is growing every year, that reserve, you're up to $3 or $4 million now. You got those pilot payments rolling in. Get a governmental agreement with CJ Fed, right? Put it on paper, damn it, if we dissolve the village, CJ Fed is going to lose $300,000-$400,000 a year. That's how you win over the community. You show them, because your little videos about beautiful on Main Street, those people out there in Harvest Meadows and Streamside, I don't think they really care about Main Street any more than anyone does in Pleasant Acres or Glenwood Charles or Forest Glen. Hey, one last thing. I would have I liked the check from Maddox, right? The $10,000 check. I thought that was pretty cool. That reminds me, we all get together, I give you a $50 gift card, then you give me a $10 gift card back. I really think it would have been more appropriate if you guys would have had the big check to Maddox, right? For $50,000. That would have been cool. Here goes your $50,000 check, and then here goes your $10,000 check. That would have been a really, really, really good photo opportunity, and I think you guys really missed one right there, so thank you for your time.
Oh, thank you for yours, sir. Okay. Mr. Albright.
Well, I'm here to address your vice mayor's little statement he had. You all gave us pretty much a rounding ovation for it. That speech was about me. He knows it was about me. Nobody ever got the most despicable thing I've ever seen was somebody get up in Kathy Turner's face. Such bullshit, dude. I stood right here. I didn't single her out. I went right down to the line. If you all going to give him an ovation for that speech, you stand for everything Kathy Turner stood for. It's loud and clear. You stand for all the annexations. Annexing 4 lanes of a highway just to reach the school to apply 1% income tax. That's what Kathy Turner was. All the tax abatements. That was Kathy Turner. I'm not going to let some preordained, unelected, lying piece of shit tell me anything.
That, you're,
I ain't over the line.
yes,
I ain't over the line.
yes,
Language is over the line.
yeah.
You
There's
know what
no
the
re-
most despicable speech I've ever saw? Was in that guy right there, sat at a finance meeting and said, the school walked away from our deal. Total bullcrap. Total and complete bullcrap. $23 million we offered them. More bullcrap. And you all selected him. Just like the other two sitting up there. You selected them in a back room. You didn't even take 30 days to get letters of intent. Your very first act was to put him in here in the first 3 minutes. I just had to address that. Mayor,
Yes,
I've been
sir.
telling everybody forever, you spend more time in Florida than the town you're a mayor of.
Yes, sir.
Right here, you got rid of your house, gave it to the kids.
Yes, sir.
You don't even have a house here.
My name's still on it, sir.
I beg to differ.
Okay.
Next, I got FOIA requests. Going on 3 weeks, going, Chip. I ain't heard an answer. I got a FOIA request I got an answer back months ago. I presented it, I'm sorry Dorsey ain't here, he's the one I presented it to at a council meeting.
Okay.
I want receipts. This ain't it. Bean and Brew. Has he made any payments? I don't think he has. I could make that. That don't prove nothing. Can you take that to a court of law and say that's proof?
Yes,
This right here?
yes.
What's that prove?
Go to court of law.
Give me a piece of paper and I will write my own numbers down. That ain't nothing. That don't prove nothing. Any of you care? I don't think he's made a payment. Not a dollar. Nobody cares. And you all gave him another year. Congratulations, Ron.
Thank you, sir. Congratulations to you, sir. Okay. Bill.
All right. Good evening, everybody. First of all, I want to say two positive things real quick. I noticed the agenda was posted to the website ahead of the meeting, so thank you to whoever did that, whoever's responsible for that. And then I utilized the brush removal for the first time. The team here is awesome. They did a fantastic job, cleaned up after everything, so I really appreciate getting that service. I have a few questions. I'll try to be as brief as I can. Hopefully I fall under 3 minutes. I'd like to ask a few questions and get a response back if that's possible. So in, I believe it was February, I let you guys know about the ADA Title II requirements for the website. So we're 4 months. Any progress there? Yeah, the ADA Title II requirements for websites for villages to be compliant with the ADA. Yes. Yeah, and then no. It's not a question. This is my area of expertise. I'm telling you guys, this is coming. So for villages under 50,000 residents, the deadline is April 28th, 2028. So there's been 4 months that have passed since I last talked. And they actually pushed the deadline out since then. So right now, on the homepage of the website, you guys are getting a 36% score out of 100. And there's over 40 critical issues. So it's just really important that we resolve those. And then also, sort of ADA, I appreciate the park on Broadway. I'm really excited for that. I live on Broadway. I can walk there. I'm really looking forward to it. As you guys know, my daughter is challenged, is not able to walk. So it's really important for me that anything we do there, any equipment we bring in, is ADA accessible. So I'm just looking for a commitment there that anything we bring in will meet that criteria. All right, thank you. And then lastly, So I think folks are starting to become aware what flock cameras are more generally. It's kind of been on my radar for a little bit. I know. Probably not the first conversation you've had about that, huh? Yeah. No flock comment. So not too far from us, Dayton is probably the biggest municipality that recently has made some movement in that area. They suspended the program. They actually put trash bags over the cameras because there's not a way to easily turn them off. Like the city put trash bags over the cameras. I have some major concerns. There's a documented case here that you can look up where they are using, or they did use, real daycare footage that included kids in sales demos to sell the product. So clearly there was no sign off there on all these kids, right? And so don't take my word for it, look it up, it's a thing. So I would be very careful, and I would like to see us have some safeguards and limits and policies in place for any program that they're involved in. And that's it. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Okay. Executive session. Oh, yes, go ahead, sir.
I was going to bring this up in my presentation later, but I wanted to mention to everyone in council and in the audience here today a recent change in Ohio law, which I think everyone might find instructive. And this was put out by the Ohio Municipal League, breaking down the changes in Ohio Revised Code Section 966, which is the well-known, as I'm quoting from language here, well-known to economic development practitioners with respect to requiring disclosures of economic development. So in March, the law was changed by the legislature such that at this point in time, new subsection D renders a broad array of economic development-related project information as confidential. That is a change by our legislature. I'm sharing that today because there might be requests for information that previously would have been permissible and public records that now this body can no longer share. By implication, should someone make a statement about that, I'm going to presuppose that if there's a statement being made, that must mean there is no economic development to speak of. This is a widespread change in the law that it's really unclear how it got pushed through or why it got pushed through. But its implication with respect to economic development and or requests for information, it's widespread. I'm sharing that with the members of council and everyone in this audience received this newsletter in the last week.
Very good, sir. Executive section?
We have a motion for executive session.
Well, if I may, at this point, I would ask for executive session pursuant to Ohio Revised Code Section 121.22 G8 to consider confidential information relating to economic development. This pertains to economic development and matters relating to this council and other public entities for which those matters are pursuant to Ohio Revised Code Section 121.22 G8, subject to executive session.
So moved.
Second?
Second.
Mr. Smith? Okay. Mr. Owens?
Yes.
Mr. Smith?
Yes.
Mr. Wilson?
Yes.
Mr. Staton?
Yes.
Mrs. Agar?
Yes.
Time is 7:24. 8:15.
Okay.
All right, I guess it's me,
Yes, it
right?
is. You're up next, sir.
All right, can I get a motion for the approval of the May 26, 2026 Village of Batavia Council meeting minutes?
So moved.
Okay, by roll. Mr. Smith?
Yes.
Mr. Wilson? Yes. Mr. Staton? Yes. Mrs. Agar?
Yes.
And Mr. Owens?
Yes.
Thank you. All right. May Bank reconciliation is complete. Do I have a motion to approve May 2026 bank statement reconciliation?
So moved.
I'll second.
Okay, by roll. Mr. Smith?
Yes.
Mrs. Agar?
Yes.
Mr. Owens?
Yes.
Mr. Staton? Yes. And Mr. Wilson? Yes. Thank you.
Okay.
Chief?
Chief, you ready? Sorry. You're good. You already did it. I'm sorry? Oh. Yeah.
Mayor, Council, we have the May 26 Village Council Report. During May, Sergeant Warner, Officer McAdams took part in the senior parade and your senior graduation at the high school. We'd like to congratulate all the outgoing seniors and wish them the best in their future endeavors. On May 22nd, the police department took part in the annual torch run. The torch run is an annual event where law enforcement officers and first responders, known as the Guardians of the Flame, come together with Special Olympics Ohio athletes to carry the flame of hope from the four corners of the state. The flame symbolizes courage, perseverance, and the spirit of inclusion. The event culminates at the State Summer Games opening ceremonies on the campus of the Ohio State University on Friday, May 29th. The flame is used to light the cauldron, officially declaring the games open. This event not only raises awareness, but also generates critical funds to support Ohio Special Olympics and programs and the athletes. May's numbers: there was 268 calls for service, 63 traffic stops, 23 citations. There were 33 warnings, 4 crash reports, 6 arrests, 2 warrants served, 20 incident reports, 4 offense reports, and 20 public records requests. That ends my report. Any questions?
Thank you, Chief. Any questions from the council?
I do have a question for you, and not to put you on the spot, if you don't have the information, maybe next time. With the flock cameras, do you know of incidences that crimes have been solved? I've heard of robberies in the village being solved and, bench warrants, people being picked up on due to the flock cameras?
Yes, we've had numerous incidents that the flock cameras have helped us solve some crimes. I can get those numbers for you for next council meeting, but yes, we've had some major crimes that have been solved due to flock cameras. We've had some thefts that have been solved by flock cameras. So yes, but I can get those numbers for you more specifically next council meeting.
I would appreciate that, and if it's not too difficult, maybe on the list here of things that you can have either hits on flock or assistance that flock has given us on that.
Absolutely.
Thank you.
Any other questions for the chief? Okay. And also, I'd like to send, again, for the department and yourself, thank you for hosting the movie night, which will happen Friday?
This Friday. Yes,
I
ma'am.
just want to say thank you so very much for doing that for our community. Makes a
Thanks
big
for allowing us
difference.
to do it.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Okay. Mr. Moore?
Thank you, Mayor. In the last month, I want to note for everyone, we continue to have discussions in relation to the pending zoning case with CRT. It's scheduled for hearing on July 8th. We will be prepared to move forward on that hearing should the matter not resolve amicably before that date. With respect to my office's involvement in the village in the last month, We continue to assist the police whenever contacted with respect to any of the various law enforcement matters. We did help the village with respect to a few personnel issues that came up, nothing major. And then there was just general development issues in the drafting of some legally non-binding documents for purpose of the village, should we wish to proceed. That was really it from my office in the last month for purpose of public discussion. Certain matters, again, including personnel matters or not matters, for public discussion under the law. That's it.
Thank you, Mr. Moore. Any questions for our solicitor? Okay. Hearing none. Mr. Stewart.
Good evening. This past month, Maddox Industrial Transformers had the ribbon cutting ceremony on Monday, the 18th. It was a very good turnout. I know all of you were there. They've moved their sales staff into the old firehouse, and they're continuing to complete renovations on the building at the corner of East Main and South 3rd Street. They are in process of purchasing our old village offices at the corner there as well to complete that there. And they will be able to have up to, I believe they said 97 people in those 3 buildings by the time it's built out. And they also did contribute $10,000 for the America 250 celebration that'll be on July 2nd. I spoke to the developer of the River Point Apartments. They are about 90% done with the water line locate that the county required them to do. They hope to be done soon on that. They've already got the soil lined up that they need to truck in, so hopefully we'll see some movement down there soon.
Excuse me, Chip.
Yeah.
So what does that mean, that 90%? I mean, it seems like that would be a fairly simple thing to do, and it seems like it's taken forever to locate the water line.
Well,
I just don't understand.
Yeah, according to the developer, the easement documents that were filed for that water line, they had to find the water line because it's not exactly where the easement said they were. So they've had to actually go in and physically locate the lines and trace it out all the way down the property. And the company that's doing that is, I can't remember who he said it was, but they said that they had another job that it kind of came up that they had already had planned before this water locate. So because of that being about 12 feet off from where they thought it was, it's put them behind on that a little bit. The Harvest Meadow Apartments, they started leasing those apartments this month, so the occupancy has started there, and they plan on, for the next months as they go out, opening another building for a total of 8 buildings. So over the next 7 months, they'll be continuing to lease those units up there. Streamside Rental Properties, Howe Homes is still awaiting bids for the construction. They still hope to start on that project sometime this summer. Batavia Schools, they have signed the SRO agreement and the lease agreement for the Broadway property for the park. And we've also gotten some bids in for continuing that walking path all the way around the property and resurfacing the current trail that's there, and as well as our parking lot that abuts that property that we're going to use. So the relationship between the school and the village continues to progress, and it's really positive right now. UC Claremont is interested in partnering with the village for an electronic sign at the corner of College Drive and West Main Street. The college is looking at getting costs for signs at that location, so it'll be another electronic sign there. Casey's, obviously, that's under construction. They're making some improvements there, so they should have that. I haven't gotten a date on when they plan to open that, but they are usually pretty quick when they put those stores in. The Foundry Sidewalk Grant.
Chip, do you think that Casey's, will that be sometime this summer then, you think? By the end of the summer, is that a guess?
Yeah, I've reached out to the engineering company, but I got a letter, out of office letter return on the email, so I won't be able to find out until next week on the timeline, but they usually put those things up pretty quick. And it looks like they've already got the fuel tanks in the ground and everything up there, so. The Foundry Sidewalk Grant, I did get some information today and some documents that I had to sign and send back to them. So we are looking at getting that awarded here pretty soon as well. Harold Road interchange, still waiting for the ODOT to start the construction there. The America 250, again, is Thursday, July 2nd. We've got the fireworks location lined up. And Karen, do you know, did you ever hear back from Juergens? Did they get, should have gotten word from the fireworks company about being put on the, as the... They have not provided me the updated certificate of insurance. Okay. Okay. Okay, thanks. Got a lot of food vendors signed up and a lot of other vendors that want to set up a booth along the street. So if anybody still wants to donate, we'll always accept the donations.
Chip, did you talk to, or Ms. Schwartz, did you talk to Ms. Wright when she was in here? I think she left. About wanting, she wanted to do, open up this building for the America 250 and have a few things going on in here related to the Claremont County Historical Society.
Yeah, she said she was going to get with me tomorrow on that.
Okay, all right, I just wanted to make sure.
Yeah.
Just take one off of my list. Okay.
I'm sorry to jump in. Chip, I don't want to jump in too much, but she did mention, and I overheard it, tricorn hats for the kids. I want to make sure that makes it into the record, because I think that's awesome.
As far as the 32 sign, we're still waiting for Norton to start the construction on that. The America 250 mural, the artist is making some progress down there. I don't know how much is going to get done this week if we still have the thunderstorms, but she's made some pretty decent progress down there. As far as public work goes, the stormwater culvert on Kilgore, we've received a quote for the relining and repair of that culvert, and that's going to be a major project that we have to kind of take a look to see how we're going to solve that. We've taken over the maintenance on the Broadway property for the park. Like I said, we've got a quote to complete the walking path there. We are waiting on the bids to come back in for the paving project of some of the village streets. The bids are due by June 23rd, and we will award the bid right afterward. Another note, I also talked to Nick Rubel about donating or leasing the property along Haskell Lane on the river to extend our park district. Sonny from the Batavia Apartments owns one of the 4 parcels along there. He's already committed to it, and Nick Rubel is talking to his legal options that they have on whether they would donate that property to the village or we would lease it for like $1 a year to extend the park.
And just as a follow-up to that, so it's about 2,000 feet of walking trail that will extend from the bridge all the way up towards the 32 overpass, which there also will be overlooks. There also will be benches and possibly a pavilion for people to have a lunch, or you can go out there and whatever with your family. So it'll be possible to see the riverscape. Go ahead, sir.
As far as zoning goes, from the time of the report, we had 121 total permits, 24 new residence applications for Streamside, and 55 for Harvest Meadows. We're currently working on 10 violations in progress with 3 in the court process. The planning and zoning meeting next Tuesday. We have a public hearing for the text amendment that would modify the final process for the PUD where it comes back to council for the final approval and not just at the Planning and Zoning Commission. And that's all I have.
Any other questions? I'm sorry.
Yeah, I have another question, sorry. Wasn't there, isn't ODOT supposed to be doing something for the 32 and Harold Road?
Oh, yes. I just got those dates today from the contractor. I believe it's pull the dates up. So on the 14th and 15th, State Route 132 will be closed at the trestle. So traffic will be routed down to 222 from there. They are replacing railroad ties on the trestle. They hope to have it done in one day, but they have it slotted for two. Then it'll reverse over to 222 on the 16th and 17th, doing the same on that side and redivert the traffic back down 132.
I was talking about 32 and Harold Road, aren't we supposed to be?
Oh, I'm sorry.
The ODOT, aren't they supposed to be adding like a exit lane, so to speak, a turn lane going and?
Well, yeah, they're going to be part of that project, and I kind of mentioned that earlier in the report.
Oh, okay.
We're still waiting on them to start that project. The only thing that it includes right now is a stacking lane for that left turn, as well as the closure from the left turn from the other side and the straight through.
Chip, just to clarify, that 222 and 132, did you say June 14th and 15th?
Yeah, Sunday and Monday, the 14th and 15th, State Route 132 is slotted to be closed.
Okay.
And then 16th and 17th, it'll be on the other side of the river at 222.
Okay, thank you.
Any other questions for Chip? I just wanted to just make a mention. So when we were up last to the school board, which we have a great relationship with currently, I also mentioned to them about the 250, and I opened up the trestle walls for the art teachers to actually get involved with. And did you talk to, Chip, did you talk to Mr.? or the
Yeah, Mr.
superintendent
Millard
there?
and I met last week, and we went down to the area down there to look at space that they might have their art students put some art down in that same area. So he's going back to their teachers and discussing that with them on what they want to do.
So that opens up, because this is Bulldog Place, because it's Bulldog Country, so that opens up their possibilities of having their possibility of the children of the school district to place art. My question to them is something that'd be kind of nice is to have something from the elementary, something from the middle school, and something from the high school, which actually would be a great job and a great benefit for the village of Batavia, especially when you're coming up through a trestle. You don't see anything currently, but it's be art from the children from the school district. Okay. There was also something else. Do you have any questions about that? Oh, I thought I heard something. I'm sorry. I think that's all. Any other questions for Chip before you? Steve? Okay. All right, this is my section. I was hoping Kelly would actually stay. Again, I would just like to welcome the Historical Society to the Village of Batavia. They have moved into the Village of Batavia, and I don't know if you've seen some of the items that they have already placed inside. We actually gave them a possibility of a place where they can do research. It has to be creatively made still because of spacing. And then their files and everything else are in the back. But I just want to welcome them to the Village of Batavia. And at that point, that's all I had. Is any other questions coming from the council to the mayor? Anybody? All right. Thank you.
Mr. Mayor, I have a committee report from the fire board.
Yes, sir. That was next, sir. Yes, sir. Do I have any committee reports? Thank you, sir.
Certainly. At the last fire board meeting, it was announced that the village is taking a two-pronged approach to looking at funding for CJ Fed with the problems that they've had with funding and the inability to pass any new levies. The village is currently looking at ways that they can look at past monies that were collected that were not forwarded to the fire department as one avenue of creating some relief for the funding, and secondarily to look at properties that were previously abated and be able to make an agreement with CJ Fed so that they can collect something from those abated properties as much as possible from the village. We're looking at how to potentially do that so that the CJ Fed gets the money that they should have gotten, arguably, through the normal process of tax collection. Secondarily, I had a meeting with the one county commissioner, scheduled one that ended up impromptu, to talk about any kind of relief they could give us from the TIFs that are in place held by Claremont County since 2005. Those were 30-year TIFs. They are 10 years left on those. I had quite a good conversation with two of the commissioners, as it turns out. They are looking at ways that they might work with CJ Fed to help alleviate some of their issues with funding as well. So it was a very positive session with those folks. I don't know what the results are going to be, but we have opened the negotiation, talking with them about how we might be able to do that and save our fire department.
You know, may I just make a comment to that? I think, and I hate to use this word, Mr. Owens, well, I want to use this word. You've bested. And I want to use that word in account to, I think you're the first one to ever go up to the county and actually ask them something from the village of Batavia. And I just wanted to thank you for taking their time and doing that on behalf of the village of Batavia and its residents.
Of course.
Because a lot of times what happens, when you start a conversation, like we did with the schools, with the township, and now with the county, it's about communication. It's changed the whole dynamics of everything that was done in the past. And I just want to say thank you
You're
for
very
taking
welcome.
the time to do that.
And I have to say that they were very receptive and open and had honest discussions. As a previous county employee, that all of them recognized some of the work I had done for the county in the past, and were willing to discuss what could be done. So it was a very open meeting, and hopefully, as I said in my summary back to them for thanking them for the meeting, is that we hope to keep those lines of communication open for future issues, and we're neighbors, work together. One of the commissioners after my meeting said, "You're just a block and a half away, walk on down. My old office is open." So very favorable feedback from them.
And thank you for your help with that, sir. Anyone else have any committee meetings that you want to speak about? Anything about the committee? Okay. Okay, so committee meetings and reports, we've already done that. So Monday, June 16th at 7 p.m. is the next Planning and Zoning Commission.
Actually, Tuesday.
Oh, is that Tuesday? Sorry. Change that. Tuesday. Then Monday, 22nd, 7 p.m., second council meeting if needed. Then we have Monday, July 6th, 4:30 p.m., the Financial Planning Committee meeting. Monday, July 13th at 7 p.m., regular council meeting. And then Monday, July 27th, we're extending that, the second council meeting if needed. Now, there's also one that's, the 250 is on Tuesday, the 250. I just want to make sure it's on a Thursday. It's on a Thursday, just to make sure everybody notes that on before 4th of July. Any other questions or comments from the council? Okay. Hearing none. Do I have a motion to adjourn?
So moved.
I'll second that.
All right. All in favor?
Aye.
8:39.
Thank you. Thank you, council. Thank you. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen, for being here with us tonight. Have a blessed evening, and God bless you.